Pregnancy is not a disability, but pregnant workers can still need protection. Here to tell us more about what the law says about working women's right to have children is attorney Jim Higgins with the Higgins Firm. Welcome back to the show, Jim.
Thank you.
Good to see you in here. Now let's talk about this new law that has been presented in Congress that protects pregnant workers.
Yes, we already have on the books a Pregnancy Discrimination Act, but there's kind of a hole or gap in it. And what the legislature is doing in Washington is they're trying to fix that. And basically the gap is right now if somebody just needs what we would call a reasonable accommodation, you know, to sit for an hour or two or to have a bottle of water with them. This law is going to allow that protection for people who are pregnant and require the employer to do that. And as silly as some of those things I mentioned sound, there has been people that have been terminated and not allowed to have those reasonable accommodations. So what we're hoping this does is it kind of fills in that gap, because right now, in general, the choices that come down a lot of time under the law is the employer says, hey, you either work regular duty, or if you can't, you can go home. And sometimes that's just not a good accommodation for someone.
Right. And as you mentioned, aren't pregnant workers already protected under the law?
Yeah, well, partially. And that's what right now what the protection is if you work for somebody who's 15 or more employees and you're pregnant, you can't be discriminated just for that. So you can't not be hired, you can't be fired for it, you can't be demoted, you can't be required to leave work when you're physically able to keep working during your pregnancy. Right. So those protections are there. It's just the protections of, hey, I can work, but I need a little help, or I can't do this one specific job. And if it's a reasonable accommodation, that's what we're hoping will come in. But yes, the laws are there to protect a majority of pregnant workers now, and we see a lot of these cases.
And so someone watching today, if they feel like they've been discriminated against because they're pregnant, what should they do?
Well, I think it's always good to call someone. I mean, we have an employment law litigation section that deals a lot with this, and so often it's just knowing where you stand. And so if you're in that situation where you feel you're being treated differently, you feel you're being discriminated against because pregnant or because you have a disability or whatever that is, you know, they can call our office and we can say, hey, yes, under the law this shouldn't be happening, and develop a plan of how to deal with it, how to correct it, hopefully, you know, smooth out your relationship at work, or if it's already happened, sometimes we can, you know, file a claim for back pay, replacement in the job workforce, those types of things.
Right. And this is just one of the things you focus on. You do a lot of workers' compensation cases.
Yes, we kind of have what we would call an employment labor law section. And what that's going to deal with is workers' comp cases, not getting your overtime pay, tip pull violations. Really, we have tried to just create a section of our firm that deals with employment law issues that people see on a day-to-day basis.
And what should they do if they want to contact you? What's the best way to get in touch?
You know, we've got email nowadays is always great. They're welcome to go to our website. It's higginsfirm.com, or they can call us, whatever's convenient for them. You know, nowadays it's not hard to get a hold of somebody through the internet.
That's right, Jim. Thank you so much for joining us. Great information.
Thank you, Casey.
Hey, the Higgins Firm is serving Tennessee. Give them a call at 615-353-0930. Again, that's 353-0930. Or for more information and a link to their website, higginsfirm.com, just go to our website, that's WSMV.com, and then click on the More at Midday section.